What's up, y'all? I am live. For those of you that are on social media right now, I'm going live. Just a little tidbit. I was thinking about some stuff, the last few days. And I wanted to instill like some hope in people. And I wanted to, talk about something really quick. There's a lot of hurt people out here, and a lot of people in hurt situations. Unfortunately, COVID-19 has taken the world by storm, and a lot of people are just in such emotional distress. I wanted to get on here and really just like inspire some people, if you will. And, hopefully some of these people that are on here, wave if you can. Can relate, but there's so many hurt people and so many hurt situations that just are spiraling out just due to like COVID. Some people are just going wild, and some people are just they're hurt. But I think COVID taught a lot of people that if you do not have a moment to deal with your past, it will start dealing with you in the moment of silence. You guys are gonna have to forgive me. I'm driving. It will deal with you in a moment of silence. And if you haven't dealt with your past in that moment of silence, the past is going to seem so loud and so rambunctious, and it's going to drive you nuts. And it's going to drive you to the point to where these seeds are going to start blossoming, and they're going to start creating such, discord and poison, and it will physically make you sick. And so I wanted to get on here and just kind of talk about that a little bit. For those of you, who know, and those of you who don't know, I've dealt with a lot in my past, and I've dealt with a lot of just like sexual abuse and mental abuse and physical abuse. So it's just a whole lot of extra stuff. Most of you know that I'm creating a book called Pimp Theory to actually talk about how we design our life in a sense from our past, present, and future. But we design our life around those things, and that we pimp ourselves out, and it's such a force to be reckoned with sometimes, for a lot of people, and it drives them nuts. I have experienced in my life so many different types of characters and so many different types of people, including within my own family, as some of you know, that I see a pattern. And like I said, it's unfortunate. I see a pattern, but I've been at the butt end of this pattern, and I've been the one starting the pattern before, and to where your past, you're dealing with so many emotional things, and your past is dealing with you, and you're trying to sift through this field of energy on top of dealing with the energy that you're getting from other people and other things and situations on an everyday basis. And so when you're dealing with this much force of energy, what do we talk about in the dissertation? I talked about this in the beginning. The preface of my book, for those of you who's witnessed the preface of the book, and I might just publish at least the preface before the book comes out. But, we talk about Marvel and how there were stones that everybody had in their life. And there was these stones that they were fighting over, and these stones created power. Well, a lot of us deal with that already, where there's stones in our life, and those are the stepping stones of our life, right? And these stepping stones give us the power that we need to keep going and succeed. And so if you do not take these stepping stones seriously, and you do not take these stepping stones and sift through it to where they're accurately building your house and your portfolio to be able to have a successful life and continue your livelihood and, just make the best success for yourself, those stepping stones will either create a path of an unfinished house, which if you have an unfinished house in the midst of a storm and trials and tribulations, you're not going to stand. You're not going to stand. You have no foundation. You have no stairs. You have no roof. You have no, right? If you can't put your house together, and the Bible says a wise woman builds up her house and a foolish woman tears it down. And if you are a foolish woman, which means there's a metaphor in there, the soul is a representation of a woman. And so I don't believe that we, as spiritual beings, are man or female. We live in a physical world, so you are man or female. And that's where you end up. But as your spirit prospers, and your soul prospers too. So it's two entities. And there's three entities. You have your spirit, your flesh, and then you have your soul. Three entities that we already have to keep, in check and in line. And that's so much for a physical being to take, which is why it's really important for our health, And as you guys witnessed in my first YouTube video, I said I went vegan, but not vegan, right? So I cleaned up my lifestyle when it came to my health. Because I started dealing with different types of stress, way different types of stress. For every new level, there's a new devil. That's what they say, right? So here we are with this concept of having to build our house. And if it's not built properly, or those stepping stones are not put in the right place, you're gonna crumble. And unfortunately, that's just the God honest truth. Like, you're gonna crumble and you're gonna fall apart. And it's unfortunate that the storms, the trials, the tribulation, the rain that's happening right now, just the rain that's powering down on people. A lot of people don't understand that when a rain comes, really honestly, God is in the midst. But if you do not understand the revelation that's being brought across, you are going to sink. So let's go back real quick and talk about Noah and the ark. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand the metaphor behind this. But if you do not understand the rain that comes down and you are not prepared, your house will not stand. Your house will become, if your house is divided, it can't stand. There's all these things are reference points in the Bible. It is. And a lot of people want to say the Bible contradicts itself, but I think what it is that people fail to actually witness the metaphoric parallel. Brigamon, something like that. If you look it up, it's a Hebrew transliteration of a prophetic parallel, really what it is. And God had just recently showed me this through some dreams. And I'm getting excited. I'm talking really fast, but I'm getting excited because I love what God is just doing in my life right now. And I'm loving what he is showing me right now. And unfortunately, I'm coming across some different type of stressors and some different types of people, but I'm also loving it at the same time, because I'm like, man, God, you cool, because he's showing up and showing out. And I just appreciate, everything that's been shown to me in the last few days, about the house and about about the house and about what, what it is, what it really means to build the house, and what it really means to actually, take it seriously. And so we are a temple for our spiritual house, but we have our physical house. These are all parallels in multiple dimension prophetic understandings, and a lot of people, unfortunately, like I said, they don't understand. But I'm here to actually tell you and show you, and witness to you the goodness that God is doing in my life, and the amount of work that he is putting in mentally, spiritually, and physically, and just, the all around care that God has taken into the necessities of our life, and just the little things he says, like that. We shouldn't have to worry about our clothes, our food, or anything else, because he cares about the birds who have to nest and find a nest, and every single day, and their needs are provided every single day. So if that's the case, why would we have to worry? And so I love that God is ministering. I saw the number 444 a week ago, and God was talking about manifestation, but he said, I'm sending you an angel of comfort. I had no clue what. I was like, angel of comfort for what? To be comforted, it means you have to go through something traumatic, go through something that is just so, stressful, that God has to place somebody or place an angel in your life, a messenger, a message, a soul-driven message, has to place that in your life so that you don't crumble yourself. But if I don't have a house or a pot to, piss in, for lack of better words, then that angel cannot come and sit here and, to sit here and dwell, because God says you dwell and you abide in the shadows of the Most High, and you dwell in his comfort place. He said, I abide in you and you abide in me. And that's the beautiful art of God, the beautiful work of God. It all comes through the revelation of the word. And I thank God for his peace, and I thank God for his understanding, within the last couple days. I do. I thank God for it, because he has just brought so much revelation and so much prosperity when it comes to the mind and comes to the word that he's giving. And so again, I want to give hope to you guys that are hurting. Build your house. And if your house is built and you're going through a storm right now, trust and believe and stand. He said, when you can't do anything else, you can do, when there's nothing else you can do, all you can do is stand. Stand firm in the house. Stand firm in what you believe. Stand firm in the things that God is showing you. Stand firm and know that he is God. He said, quiet and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still, he said. So when you're in a place where you need to seek refuge, know that God said you are under his wing. You are under his shadow. You are under, so he's taking the hits. When he takes the hits, ain't nothing coming towards you. So I say that because it's something that God had just showed me while I was driving. I was like, God, you are so amazing. He's been showing me for weeks and months, some of these things, and through the various relationships I have, cousins and families and friends and jobs and work, and even with the Boldly Rooted business. This is why Boldly Rooted started. You stay rooted, you stay blessed, and you stay bold, because God is the affirmation. God is the root and the foundation of everything that you are putting your mind to. And so build your house, guys. Don't fall asleep, because this is not the time to get distracted. When you get to a point where you have physical exhaustion, it's because your spirit is going through some things. Go through your spirit, man, and really get to those deep-rooted things. Deal with your past. Yes, it's hard to deal with your past. Get counselors. Get people to talk to that you trust. Get people to talk to that you trust with information. Because not everybody out here with information is here to actually, benefit you. Sometimes people use information just to spite you, just to dishonor your character, discredit you. And it's unfortunate, but it happens. But you know what God says? He says, I know who I made, and I know you, and I know what you're capable of. And so, and I know, who I placed in you. And so greater is he that is in you, that is in the world. And so deal with your past, because when the greater in you comes out, the past has nothing. The past has nothing on you. The past is the past. You can't fix anything from the past. You can't redo anything from the past. You can't do over anything from the past. The only thing that you can change from the past is how you respond to a current situation that is a parallel of the past. So when you have these situations arise, and I'm one for panic attacks, believe me, I'm like, because I'm looking at my past in the reflection of the mirror that God has called my life. And I get that. So when you deal with those things from the past, and when you deal with those things with an understanding from God, do know that God is in the situation. Do know that God's got your back. Do know that God is building your house. He will give you the wisdom. He said, if you ask for wisdom, he will give it to you freely. So please, guys, when you are going through these situations in life, I'm just here to let you know. Hey, how you doing? I'm here to let you know that there is an abundance with God. He said that he will give you rest. He will give you rest, and he will give you an understanding. He will give you the power, love, and a sound mind in an unpeaceful, unrestful situation, uncertain circumstances. But if you do not hold on to God, which is in you, a lot of people are like, we're not gods. You know what I mean? We're not gods in a sense where we have to manipulate through power and everything like that. But we're gods in the sense of we are gods of our own demons. We can overcome these things. We are overcomers, guys. We are overcomers. So I wanted to just instill some peace and instill some hope, because the joy that God had brought me and the peace that God had brought me, within these last few situations I've been dealing with, with my business, balancing my business and balancing work still, and having to still work a 9-to-5, and still having to, work through COVID, and having to, just deal with the changes. Change is hard, guys. It's so hard. Just like loving is hard. You have to find the love in the situation. You have to find the peace in the situation. You have to find God in the situation. Ask him to reveal, ask him to reveal the secrets in the situation that you're going through, And so again, build your house. Don't be the foolish woman who tears it down, but be the wise woman who builds it up, and stand firm and rooted in who you are. Please, you guys, it's very, very important, because like I said, there's a lot of people hurting here. There's a lot of people hurting, and we know what hurting does. Hurt people. And it's unfortunate, but I just want to tell you guys, I love you. God loves you, right? I know you guys hear that all the time. They be like, okay, but I'm telling you, I love you and God loves you. And I appreciate the amount of support on my YouTube. And believe me, if you guys haven't catched this live, it's going to be brought on my YouTube pretty soon. And I just can't help but to, give God some recognition and give God some glory, because I've been through a lot in the last few weeks. None that I care to share about right now because it's irrelevant, but I know that everybody else is going through, everything that they're going through. And just build your house, guys. Look at your stepping stones. Where are they laying right now? Take time to evaluate your life. Take time to evaluate your peace. Take time to evaluate your situation. Ask my closest friends. I be putting them on 6 months notice all the time. Every 6 months, I'll be like, where you at? Where you at? You growing? You growing? Are you choosing to grow? And if they get discouraged, I'll be like, I encourage you. But if they refuse to grow, they cut. You cut it out, right? So they cut from the life, because I can't afford for people who don't want to grow. I can't be a flower or a tree that is blossoming in so bad soil. I can't be, because if I have to assess my soil, I'm not going to want to assess the weeds that are around me. I'm not going to want to do that, right? I'm not going to want to deal with that. So not assess it, but I'm not going to want to deal with it. So I assess it. I assess my environment. I assess my mind. I assess my soul. And when I do that, I can prosper. And when I do that, I can stay encouraged. And when I can do that, I can retain hope. I can gain hope. I can hold on to hope, because by the word and the revelation, we are saved. And it is in hope that we are saved. We had to find hope, y'all. We got to find hope. So please stay blessed, stay rooted, stay bold. And I'll bring back, a message sooner or later. Check out our new podcast, guys. Check out what Boldly Rooted is doing, because Boldly Rooted is growing. We hit 700 subscribers, guys. I'm so excited. I had no clue YouTube was gonna pop off. And not, the meat of the stew ain't even in there yet. Like, we just got little vegetables. We got a little sauce, but the meat ain't even in there yet, y'all. So when I start placing the meat, imagine how big that this is gonna grow. I appreciate you guys listening to me. I almost got discouraged, because I was like, man, ain't nobody listening, ain't nobody interacting. But sometimes you got the watchers. You got the watchers who would just watch. And then those who are create action in your lives, guys, because that's why you're going through a whole lot too. It's the hesitance on action, because the last time I did this action, the last time I handled this, it went haywire. Trust and know that growth is happening. Trust and know that your life, you're growing. Stop freaking out. You're growing. Trust and know and be secure in what God has placed in your life and what he's been doing. And like I said, keep an eye out for the Boldly Rooted Studios YouTube channel. It's popping off. This is going to be uploaded on the YouTube channel just like this, uncut, unedited, just like this. I'm going to be cutting up a few snippets of this too, and bringing it on my page, because I really think it's useful information. I really think that the information being brought across is of God. So, and it should instill hope and not restlessness. God's not going to bring you a word that's going to leave you in peace. God said he gives you power, love, and a sound mind. The power is the dominion and the authority to overcome your demons inside you. It starts with you first. It never goes out first. It starts with you first, because it's in James chapter 1. He said that we are like a man who looks in the mirror at our own reflection and sees who we are. Right? It's a reflection. A mirror is a reflection. He sees who he is, but then when you walk away, you be forgetting what you look like. Don't forget what you look like, y'all. James 1, I believe, and it's somewhere around the 20th verse or so, somewhere like that. Don't quote me, but I know it's in James 1. So, go ahead and look at that, guys. Go ahead and look at that and inspect that. Inspect your fruit. If your fruit is, man, I grew up around fruit trees, apple trees and cherry trees and things like that. Man, when you grab a pear or an apple and if that thing is rotten, you inspect it, there's worms, there's infestations and things like that, inspect that. Toss it out. Get rid of it. Do what you got to do to get rid of it. When you do what you got to do to get rid of it, a new seed can plant. A new seed will take the place. It doesn't just go bare. Because a lot of us are feeling, you know what, and I'll say this and I'll get done, because God is like, you're done. So, I'll say this. A lot of us are going through where we go through our past, we find the bad fruit, and we're like, but I'm so used to keeping it there. What's going to happen? It's empty, and I got to go through this process of growth all over again with a whole new thing. And okay, can I keep it, God? No, you can't keep it. It's not good. Get rid of it. It's not. It will literally sour your whole entire tree, y'all. It will. If your tree is producing rotten fruit all over the place, it is a false fruit. It's false. It's a false tree. You got to cut it down. And that's the thing. Jesus went and he was teaching the disciples. He went and taught them to inspect the fruit. And he was talking about the fig tree that it produced no fruit. Right? Here we are talking about rotten fruit where it produced no fruit. Imagine producing no fruit at all. No fruit. Fruits of the Spirit, right? Galatians chapter 5. Fruits of the Spirit, around the 20th verse. Fruits of the Spirit, that God says inspect the fruit. I'm not saying I'm perfect, y'all. I'm not saying I'm perfect. There's things in me I still got to work out. There's tests I still got to complete. There's past things I still got to deal with. But the things that I have dealt with, I can share from the aspect of healing and say, please inspect the fruit, because listen, I've lived a portion of life where that fruit was dealing with me, where those weeds were sucking me up. The soil was not good. The soil was bad, and it just created so much chaos in my life, and I just was going crazy, and I was treating people sour, and I was treating them based off my interactions with my past instead of the interactions I was living in an everyday basis. Live in the moment when it comes to the interaction with people, guys. Don't live in the moment to where you're like, YOLO, I only live one life. There's no such thing as YOLO, because then you can get careless and then that's it. Young forever, or young on living something. But anyway, or you only live once. Like, listen, yeah, you only live once, but you have an eternal, I don't even want to say epithet. You have an eternal life that you live, and you have to be aware of that. You have to stop living in spurts. You know what I mean? Be a long distance runner. Don't be a sprinter. A sprinter is only good for the things that you have to push uphill and press into, like the oil. The oil is pressed. It goes through a press so that it becomes the anointing that God has for you. The coal, like I said, the coal, guys, can't nobody put you through more pressure than the God-ordained pressure to make you the diamond that you're becoming today. So I love the pressure, y'all. Love the extra, things that you're going through. Love those things, because those are the situations that God is bringing you through. Keep pressing for the mark. Keep pressing for the hope. Keep pressing for the things that God has for you. Keep pressing for those stepping stones and those actual things that are going to bring you to, the aha moment, the epiphany, the prophetic parallel, the paradise that God is bringing into your life. All right, y'all. I'm done. Stay blessed. Stay bold. Stay rooted. Bye-bye.